Hey, what's up, everybody? Video 44 coming at you with another video. All right, final game of the season. Everything on the line. 12:30 Pacific, 3:30 Eastern. Lakers versus Pelicans in New Orleans. As I always tell you when we play New Orleans, before I get into anything at all, Jose Alvarado cannot steal the ball from you. He can't catch you off guard. We don't get caught off guard on this channel by Jose Alvarado. Period. That's the first thing to understand. Second thing to understand is CJ McCollum is playing some of the best ball of his entire career right now. He is shooting a blazing hot fire from behind the arc. Of the last 4 or 5 games, he has shot like 8, 9, 5. Like, that's what you're going to see, how many shots he's made from behind the arc. It's been ridiculous. He's turned into Steph Curry. You got to understand that. Trigger Murphy's also shooting very well, to say the least. One of the best shooters in the world, Trey Murphy III, one of my very favorite players. He's healthy. He's playing well. He has length. He plays defense. He rebounds, and he can shoot the three as well as anybody, and is going to be one of the best shooters in the game going forward. So with us having horrible perimeter defense and this team shooting like this could be a very bad problem for us. The way we've been giving up threes these last couple of games and the way that they're shooting them, this could be scary today. I may have to recant my idea of this being the best matchup for us in the play-in tournament. But if we don't win today's game somehow, it won't matter because we're going to be in 10th place and we won't have to worry about them. That's how real this is, man. Zion Williamson's out there, healthy. He didn't shave down like 25, 30 pounds throughout the course of the season. The dude is in shape. He's playing great. I expect dunks and flying stuff from him. Jonas Valanciunas is out there. You know how big and heavy he is. He's kind of over the hill at this point as far as his age, but it doesn't matter because his role doesn't require him to score. Just be heavy, play a little defense, rebound the ball. That's really all he has to do. This is a dangerous basketball club, man. Larry Nance will not be out there. It's listed that Brandon Ingram will not play, but I'd heard somewhere that he would be playing, so I do expect for him to suit up tonight. I hope that shakes up their lineup in such a way that makes things bad for them, since they have such good synergy right now on a 4-game winning streak. The last team they lost to was the Spurs, but the Spurs have been beating people they have no business beating. Since then, their 4-game winning streak consists of wins over the Golden State Warriors, Sacramento Kings, Portland Trail Blazers, and God, I forgot who that other team was, but they beat them too. This is a very good team, man. It was Phoenix. It was the Phoenix Suns, to be honest with you. That's who the other team was. They've been beating up on everybody. Teams we can't beat, they've been destroying. And they've been doing it because CJ and Trigger are shooting crazy. And so has Jose, to be honest with you. Jose had a couple games where he shot over 4 threes. Made over 4 threes, rather. So respect Jose Alvarado, Trigger Murphy, and CJ McCollum going into this. Their guards are shooting the ball, and they're shooting it well. It's a big game, man. Obviously, we're paying attention to several games around the league. Golden State plays the Jazz. Portland is going up against Sac. We need both of those games to go our way. Obviously, we want Sac to lose and Golden State to lose, but we don't expect it, so we have to win. Also, we're paying attention to the Suns and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Hopefully, the Suns go into Minnesota today and beat them so that we can have 2 games back-to-back with New Orleans, because I think that's the better matchup for us. But honestly, it all depends on how well we look against New Orleans. And again, if we lose this game, none of that matters. This is the most important game we've played in years. Period. This will determine whether or not we play a 1-game situation against a team we likely cannot beat, or have 2 games to see if we can make the playoffs. That's the difference between winning and losing. If you fall to 10th place, you got to see either Sacramento and Golden State. We know damn well we ain't played well against either one of them teams, especially Sacramento. And that's who likely will be down there to see us, one of those 2 teams. So that's really what it comes down to, man. That's a one-and-done situation you want to stay out of. You want the cushion of having 2 games to play since you know you're going to be in the play-in tournament for sure. This game tells the story. So that's what it is, man. The Lakers are going to be wearing white. The Pelicans are going to be wearing their green and blacks, probably with an alternate floor. And it's on. It's on, man. We know who's missing tonight. Obviously, Vanderbilt has not returned. Jalen's out with the back, obviously. And Christian Wood is out as well. So those guys were out for the season after all, technically. I don't know what Coach Ham wants to do tonight, but I do know our team is going to have to overcome it, whatever it is. If he puts bad lineups on the floor, they have to play well. And if you don't guard from behind the arc in this game, and you turn the ball over against this team with all that length that they have, and they have plenty of it, size and length, the way that we've been playing, we're going to be the 10th seed, man. It's that simple. You show up the way you did against Memphis, you're going to get blown out. This ain't going to be a close game. They're going to know what's going on by halftime if you play like that against them, especially the way that they've been playing. This is not the same team you beat by 44 in the in-season tournament. And need us not forget that we lost by 20-something against them a couple weeks later. So for those who think that they just always beat the Pelicans, y'all better look back at that game. I cannot stress this enough. This is a must-win basketball game. It's the final game of the season, but it's a bunch of stuff going on that will be determined by whether we win or lose. Our fate, the Suns' fate, Golden State, Sacramento, all of it. All of these teams are watching us, just like we're watching them. And unlike some of them, we have a difficult team to go up against because the Pelicans are trying to stay out of the play-in tournament. And if they win tonight, they got a great chance of not having to play in that play-in tournament. They get to move up to 3 and likely see Denver maybe, or Minnesota, or OKC. We'll see what happens with those games. None of this stuff is determined. All of these games are at 12:30 in the Western Conference. A lot of the games that play in the East are at 10. So we got a lot to look at, man. Got to take care of our business. We're going up against a team that's simply playing better than us. They're on a 4-game winning streak, haven't beaten teams better than us at this point. And none of that can matter because if you don't come out and win, it's your backside. That's what it really comes down to. Final game of the season. We've gone through a lot this year, but we're still in a position to make the postseason somehow with all of the losing and all of the ineptitude and all of the bad play against good teams. This can't be one of them. Every time we go up against a team that we need to beat over the last couple of months, we've been losing. All the things that matter in the standings and various different teams, Sacramento, Golden State, Denver, Minnesota, we lost all of those games. This cannot go down like that. If it does, it forces us into a one-and-done situation with one of those teams, for which you do not want. So the Lakers better come out with playoff intensity, and if you ain't playing playoff ball right now, then you ain't deserving to play in the playoffs. Because your next game is a playoff game, so you might as well see this one as that. If B.I. comes back, obviously you got to deal with him and all the different things that he does. He's just one more long player that you can't toss the ball around all willy-nilly because it will be a turnover. Trigger is the same way. Obviously, Jose, Zion, all of these guys, they're going to get out and transition. They're going to look to run and dunk. That's really what it comes down to, man. They have a pretty deep team. I'm glad Larry ain't going to be out there. His brother will, but he probably won't get any playing time. But I think his brother's on this team. It's a lot to consider, man. No, is his brother with Cleveland? No, I think his brother's with Cleveland. Whatever the case may be, man, there's a lot to consider with the New Orleans Pelicans. And I just understand that if we don't play great ball against them, all hell breaks loose. We're in the 10th seed, and we're fighting for our lives in a one-and-done situation with our season on the line. No playoffs if you lose that game. This is just the most important game we've played in years. Not including playoffs, obviously, but, when it comes to seeding and various different things, I can't remember a time it was more important that we win a basketball game. I can't remember one. I am glad the season is almost over, though, especially the regular season. It's been quite disappointing. It's been grueling. A lot of big games, a lot of memorable games, but ultimately a lot of bad decision making that led up to this point. If we would have won maybe 2 or 3 more games, we wouldn't be in this situation. But hey, we didn't. We're here. And so the one thing we need to understand is that teams don't fear us. They don't fear us, man. We haven't given them a good reason to. So we need to come out with a certain level of respect for ourselves and just know that your Laker lore and the LeBron lore and the AD lore ain't going to win these games. You got to play hard. You got to beat you got to beat the team to 50-50 balls. You got to be quicker to the basketball. You got to not turn the ball over. You got to hit your shots. You can't get away with D'Lo just having 10 assists and then walking away with 4 points. That will not cut it. Austin can't be turning the ball over. His 3-ball has to fall. It sounds like I'm putting pressure on the team, but it is the difference. You got to win. Anthony Davis needs to have a huge game tonight. We can't have no 15 points, 12 rebound Anthony Davis. That's not going to work. Bron can't have 8 turnovers. None of that's going to work, man. We need superstars to be superstars, role players to play well, and smart decisions to be made. Taurean Prince, you can't be throwing the ball behind your back, man. Stuff like that. You got to have some awareness out there, man. When you're a limited basketball player, the last thing you need to be doing is thinking that it's important that you make highlight plays and flashy plays. Just be you, bro. Hit your 3, kiss the sky, like literally. I've been seeing him over the last couple of games trying things, putting the ball behind his back that goes flying, a no-look pass ahead pass that went over LeBron's head. Like we can't afford that from our role players, bro. We really can't. And I like how Taurean's been shooting as of late, but some of that stuff right there, that's what bad basketball players are made of. A lack of awareness and a desire to be more. Just be yourself, bro. Don't hurt the team trying to be more. That's kind of been the problem all year long. So these are things that need to be said, man. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been pleased with my team as of late. The way we came out against Memphis made me feel worse about us. And even though things went well around us, while teams were losing in the way they needed to so that we could be in this position, the way we played, we shouldn't really expect too much good out of our team. But because it's a must-win game and we did perform so well undefeated in the in-season tournament, this is yet another one of those games that means something. Will they show up? Will they be prepared? Are they going to be giving up 3-point shots to people that they think can't hit them? Because this team has been scoring the ball from behind the arc. So if that's your intention, you have to understand that is expected to fail before the game even tips off. Leaving people open from behind the arc is a bad decision. You probably don't want to do that tonight. And so that's what needs to be said. If they close out slow to CJ McCollum, I expect them to get 8 or more threes. If they close out slow to Trigger Murphy, I expect them to have 4 or 5 threes. That's the type of night this is. Corner threes made by Jose Alvarado. He's going to shoot them. He's going to make them. That's where we're at. It's a must-win game. This is a team that's clicking at the right time. They're playing well. Expect them to play well, man. And look, we always have the Anthony Davis factor going into New Orleans. They didn't do right by him. They removed him from the teleprompter intro before they even traded the man, had him out there playing in a game where they didn't even introduce his name. Like, I felt like they cursed themselves when they did that. They've had a hard time beating him ever since. I'd expect that curse rears its ugly head today and that he comes out with a certain level of vitriol against this organization who traded him and refused to make that trade in a timely fashion so he could be a Laker as soon as he desired to be. Dell Demps and all them. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I expect is Anthony Davis to play well and for us to rally around him. Also, Jackson Hayes, who also played for this team. He should have a special interest in beating him if our coach gives him the minutes, since he decided to remove him from the lineup last minute against the Memphis Grizzlies, where he only played about 5 minutes after playing great for the last 3 weeks. I'd like to see some Jackson Hayes tonight. We're going to need the length. So these are things that need to be said, man. What's Darvin going to do? How's Dinwiddie going to play? Are we getting 2-point Dinwiddie? Because if we have 2-point Dinwiddie, that doesn't bode well for us. We need Dinwiddie to be aggressive. We need the shots to fall. And we need them not to be bad shots. And look, Dinwiddie, 2-for-1s are not that important, bro. Quality possessions are more important than getting 2-for-1s, brother. That needs to be said as well. There's been a couple of times where he's had 2-for-1 opportunities and he launches some bull crap and it just clanks off the rim, goes the other way, and we end up getting a 2-for-1 for the other team. It's not as important. We don't need those extra points that bad, especially in a must-win game. Every possession is quality. So let's just put the ball in the hands of whoever is going to be playing the point guard in those situations. And if we happen to get a shot up before the 24-second clock, we feel great about it. If we don't, it ain't the end of the world. Quality possession is most important. And defense. I know we haven't been playing defense. We don't have Vanderbilt back. Our defense has been not so good. But this team could score 135 points. No problem. Especially if the 3 balls falling. Especially if Zion's getting in the paint dunking on everybody. It is so very important that we do our best to try to get quality stops wherever we can. Rebounding the ball wherever we can. Get Valanciunas off the floor. If you could draw some early fouls against him, get him in foul trouble, I think that'll go a long way in helping us. Because if he's on the floor out rebounding people and pushing people around, that's just going to make our life so much more difficult. And Bron needs to win his matchup with Zion. That's one of the reasons why we have such a fantastic matchup with this team, is because we've been able to basically neutralize Zion, or cancel him out rather. So that needs to continue. Zion is not getting any younger, or rather older. He's still a young player, strong as hell, getting better. Bron obviously is fighting Father Time, and he's looking great doing it. We need this to be yet another one of those matchups where Bron is able to outclass Zion Williamson, because if that tide starts to turn, we're in trouble. It need not turn today. The most important game of your lives, guys. That's where we're at. This is what it is. Either you're going to win this game and give yourself a cushion in the play-in tournament. Maybe you have to play this team again in the same building a couple days from now. Or you're headed down to the 10th seed with a one-and-done situation against a team that's likely beaten you repeatedly this season. It's up to y'all, man. And believe me, the Pelicans, they go play like their lives on the line too, because they don't want to be in a one-and-done situation, or rather be in the play-in tournament, because they don't have to be. Minnesota wins their game against Phoenix, and they win their game against us, and they're in the 6th seed with the cushion of not even having no tournament to have to fight their way through. So this game means just as much to them as it does to us, if not more. So if they want it more, they're going to have it. They're going to fight for their lives. Know that. And judging by how they've been handling things over the last 4 games, they've been successful when they do that. So that's how real this game is, man. We are score watching all over the league at the same time our game is going on. All the stuff that matters to us is going on. But if we don't take care of business, all of that is just null, because we're falling. Now, there is a small chance that if you lose this game, you could be in 9th place and host that one-and-done game. But you need Golden State, Sacramento to lose their games, or at least one of them. So it's a lot of implications, a lot of different things that happen at the same time that we have our game going on. But the most important thing for us is to win our game. That's it. Good luck to everybody. This is a nerve-wracking day for the NBA. A lot of team seasons are over today. They're looking forward to the lottery or whatever. But for us, if we want to survive and we want to make it to the playoffs, this is when you start winning, regardless who's in front of you. You can't worry about teams playing better than you or being better than you. This is when you play your best ball and let chips fall where they may. Otherwise, you're going home. It's that simple. BDF 44, I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.